Bonjour, French students. Here is the start, the first little lesson for lesson 11.
Leçon 11. Le copain de Mireille. Compréhension orale. Listening comprehension. Nicolas and Jean-Claude are having lunch at the school cafeteria. Nicolas is looking at the students seated at the other end of the table.
Regarde la fille là-bas. La fille blonde? Oui. Qui est-ce? C'est Mireille Labbé. Elle est mignonne. Elle est aussi amusante, intelligente et sympathique. Est-ce qu'elle a un copain? Oui, elle a un copain. Il est sympathique? Oui, très sympathique. Et intelligent? Aussi. Dommage. Qui est-ce? C'est moi. Oh, excuse-moi et félicitations.
All right, now that you just heard that, let's go ahead and kind of work through the translation. So Nicholas starts by saying, "Look at the girl over there." Jean-Claude asks, "The blonde girl?" And Nicholas says, "Yes. Who is it?" And Jean-Claude says, "It's Mireille Labbé." And Nicholas says, "She is cute." And Jean-Claude says, "She is also fun, intelligent, and nice." Nicholas asks, "Does she have a boyfriend?" Jean-Claude says, "Yes, she has a boyfriend." Nicholas asks, "Is he nice?" Jean-Claude says, "Yes, very nice." Nicholas asks, "And intelligent?" Jean-Claude says, "Also." Nicholas says, "Too bad. Who is it?" Jean-Claude says, "It's me." Nicholas says, "Oh, excuse me and congratulations." So your book meant for this to be kind of funny because, again, this idea is happening in the lunchroom. These two boys are sitting next to each other, okay, and they're looking at this girl further down the table. And it turns out that this boy is admiring this girl and asking questions to who turns out to be the girl's boyfriend. Taking a look at these comprehension questions, okay. The first one, qui est-ce que Nicolas regarde? That's asking who is Nicholas looking at. Nicolas regarde une fille. Numéro 2, comment s'appelle la fille? Asking, what is the girl's name? Elle s'appelle Mireille Labbé. 3. Est-ce qu'elle est jolie? Asking, is she pretty? Oui, elle est jolie. Elle est mignonne. 4. Est-ce qu'elle a d'autres qualités? Asking, does she have other qualities? Oui, elle est amusante, intelligente et sympathique. 5. Est-ce qu'elle a un copain? Asking, does she have a boyfriend? Oh oui, elle a un copain. Numéro 6. Qui est le copain de Mireille? So who is Mireille's boyfriend? C'est Jean-Claude. So we have this note culturelle about l'amitié et la bande de copains. French people believe in friendship, l'amitié, and family life and rank these values far above money, material comfort, and personal success. The friendships they establish at an early age tend to be durable. What they mean by durable is long lasting. Okay? Since French people move much less frequently than Americans, and since distances are much smaller, they remain in close contact with their high school friends throughout their entire lives. So, a couple kind of things that the author here is trying to kind of point out about some similarities and then some differences between France, and the United States, right? What they're kind of saying in this first couple sentences are that in France, people are going to value friendship and family as kind of the most important things in their lives. Above, and this is kind of your author of your textbook saying that typically maybe Americans value money, material comfort, and personal success as being pretty important. I think we all know what they mean by money. Material comfort. What they're talking about there is the things that you have in your own, that you own. So the car you drive, the house that you live in, the clothes that you wear. That's what they mean by material comfort. And then personal success, that would kind of be talking about like the job that you have, so the career that you have and those sorts of things. So again, the person who wrote your textbook is kind of saying, well, maybe in the United States, money, material things, personal success are really important, maybe more important even than friendship or family life. But in France, it's family life and friendship that are the most important to French people. They also, again, use that word that I kind of explained about durable. They mean by durable, long lasting. Okay? And so here, the second part, the author of your textbook is making the point that, remember when we've talked about the size of countries, France is a really small country. It's about the size of Texas. Okay? In fact, I think it's smaller than Texas. So, that's the whole country as a whole. So in France, when people make friends with other people, even if those people move away, they're really not all that far away. You can go from the northern part of France to the south of France on a high-speed train in a couple hours. It takes maybe 3 or 4 hours in a train. Okay? And trains are inexpensive. So what they're saying here is when people are friends in France, and even when their friend moves somewhere else in France, it's still pretty easy to go visit that person or see that person with some regularity because it's not very expensive to travel on the train, and you're really not all that far away from someone. In comparison, right, in the United States, if we have friends that we make here in Michigan and then our friend moves away and they move to Colorado or they move to California or they move to Florida or they move to Texas, right? They have moved a long ways away from us. We're not just a couple hour drive or train ride away from our friends anymore. It's a long distance, and it tends, because of that distance, tends to be harder to maintain that friendship. Okay, so they're kind of saying that in France, because the country's small, it's easier to keep your friends and stay in contact with your friends all throughout your life, whereas in the United States, because of the size of our country, perhaps that's a little harder to do. Okay, so that's kind of what they're talking about there. All right, continuing, we have French teenagers, like their American counterparts, are very sociable. They have a close-knit group of friends known as la bande de copains, with whom they share common interests. They go out together, especially to movies, concerts, and parties. This group may include classmates, cousins, other young people whom they have met during vacations, as well as the children of family friends. When young people invite their friends to the house, it is customary to introduce them to their parents. So again, kind of what they're making the point here at the first part of this paragraph is the idea that French teenagers are just like American teenagers. They have friends, they like to hang out with their friends, and they're kind of saying they kind of tend to do the same types of things with their friends as American teenagers do. They might go to movies, they might go to concerts, they might go to parties and just kind of hang out with one another. Okay? Now, to us, particularly where we live, right, movies and maybe concerts aren't quite as easy because we live relatively far from places to go to movies or concerts. But again, they're just trying to kind of say French teenagers, American teenagers, there's really not much difference about how they like to spend time with their friends. What might be a little bit different here is when you look at this sentence about who that group of friends includes. Classmates? Yep, most of you are probably friends with some people in your class. Cousins? That might depend on whether or not your cousins live near you. Young people whom they met during vacations. Now, that's probably even fewer of you that are still friends with people you met on vacation. And again, that goes back to that size of our country, right? If somebody was vacationing somewhere that you were vacationing, and let's say you, like last summer, we went to Florida to Disney, and when my daughter was playing in the pool and she went and played with this girl or met this girl a couple more times at the pool, the girl was from California. They became friends, they knew each other's names, but the likelihood that she's going to stay friends with her, even though she met her on vacation, is kind of low because, again, her friend lived in California, she lives in Michigan, so they're a long ways away. So, probably some of you are friends with some people that you met on vacation, but that's probably a little bit fewer of you. And then the children of family friends, what they're talking about there is, for example, your parents are friends with someone and they have kids around the same age as you, and so as a result, you're friends with those kids, okay? And then this last part, again, think about yourself and about whether or not this is true for you. This idea that if you have friends over to your house, that your parents expect to meet them. All right, you don't have any homework. So today would be an excellent day to make sure that you are caught up on any missing assignments. Remember, the best way to check for missing assignments is to look in Skyward and look for those zeros. Anything with a zero is something that you need to turn in. If it's an assignment that has been assigned since we've been kind of doing our online learning, then you're just going to submit that assignment for that existing assignment in classroom. Remember, there's no penalty right now for any late work. Okay, if it's an assignment from that 1 week that we had class, then remember there's that special assignment in your class work area that says absent or missing work from those dates. So, au revoir, à demain.